Okay, so two of the most OP cards in Clash Royale history were just released, and I bet you've already found videos over the best Trophy Road decks and Path of Legends decks for the new cards and the new update. But what are the best Clan War decks? You not only need one good deck, you need 4 good decks, and I've provided you with not only 4 good decks, but 4 great decks. Before we get into this video, I first would like to say, yes, I am sick if you can tell, and also I would just like to ask if you would hit that sub button. I know everyone asked it, but we're almost to 1500. If every single one of you subscribed, we could hit the goal in less than a day. Anyways, thank you so much, and now back to the video. With our first deck, it is going to be the Royal Giant Lightning deck. The Royal Giant is a top 3 win condition in the game right now. People thought the Monk would be a problem being able to knock it back, but not with the Fisherman. You forget that the Fisherman can just pull it away. You also have the Lightning being better than the Rocket now against the Monk specifically. I don't know in general where I would rank it yet, but it is unaffected by the Monk's ability, so it is still just as strong, if not stronger, than before the update. You obviously have a really strong defense with one of the best combos in the game being the Fisherman and the Hunter, and then you have the Royal Ghost, the Electro Spirit, and the Log. I know you see it. I know you see it, okay? The second deck is Splashard with the Monk. Yeah, we all kind of know the Monk's OP, so why would I not put it in one of the decks? Now, I know some of you don't have it, so if you don't, you can use the Skeleton King or the Valkyrie. Both of those cards are extremely viable with Splashard. If you have ever seen Splashard in the past, you have seen those 2 cards used with it a lot. One of the main reasons you get damage with your graveyard is because you have something tanking for it. And with the Monk, you can tank for an extremely long time. Using his ability, he takes like no damage, and he also reflects projectiles at the same time, so it's like extremely OP. Obviously, I could go over all the things the Monk can be helpful with, but you already kind of know. Everyone's been posting about that, so let me kind of remind you guys on what everything else is going to be helping you with in this deck. You have the Tornado, one of the best cards in the game. No doubt this is a top 10 card in the game, in my opinion. It is great against some of the most common win conditions in the game, like Hog Rider and Goblin Barrel. You have Poison that can fully counter Graveyard, one of the best win conditions in the game as well. And then you have the Tombstone as you're building, also being a spawner. And then you have the Ice Wizard to slow everything down, Baby Dragon to help you get some damage, and then the Monk on defense as well is going to be extremely OP. You also just have that Barb Barrel, which is a top small spell in the game to help you get rid of those Goblin Barrels and those Goblin Gangs and those Skeleton Armies or whatever you need to get rid of. Next up, we have a deck that I actually used to use in ladder, and that is the Mortar Cannon card deck with the Miner and tons of Swarm units. The Cannon card is an extremely underrated card, and I don't know why people aren't using it. It fully counters the P.E.K.K.A, it fully counters the Mega Knight, it has an insane DPS and can take a tower by itself. Then you have your Swarm units, you have your Bats, you have your Goblin Gang, not to mention the Goblin Gang just being buffed, and you have your Spirit Goblins. These are so annoying for your opponents when you're using these on defense, because you'll use your Spirit Goblins and they'll use their small spell to get rid of them, and then you'll put down your Bats, or then you'll put down your Goblin Gang, and they just can't get rid of all of them. Your defense is very hard to break through with the Mortar as well being a great building, because not only does it have a lot of health and will tank for your towers to chip away at those attacking units, it also will get damage on their tower at the same time. And you have the Miner being one of the highest skill gapped cards in the game that can be used at such a variety in this deck. If you notice that your opponent is in a bad cycle, you can literally put a Miner at the tower and Bats at the bridge and take the tower just like that. A full health tower with 5 elixir. This deck is so annoying to play against and always has a way to get damage. And lastly, I would say if you need damage really desperately with this deck, guaranteed you can Miner, and then you have that giant snowball to throw on that Miner, pushing off any troops that could prevent your Miner from hitting the tower. Yeah, I understand that not everyone likes E-Golem, but have you seen my videos before? There's always gonna be a menacing deck. And this is the menacing deck in today's video. It's the E-Golem with the E-Barbs, the Battle Healer, and the Rage. Guys, look, I tried to make this a deck with all fun and lovely decks, but with the spells I had left that we could use, this was easily the best deck. This deck specializes in counter pushing. Basically, I'm saying that you should use your E-Drag or Inferno Dragon on defense, maybe even your Battle Healer, and when these troops stay alive, you put an E-Golem down on the bridge as they're starting to get close to crossing, Battle Healer behind, you have a Dragon, sometimes both Dragons behind that, you put a Rage down, and it's over. And then you have one of your spells just in case they try and do something to defend. You kind of just take it out. This deck sucks to play against, but it is so fun to use. One last thing with this deck though, it does thrive mostly in double, triple elixir, and sudden death. So if there is an extra game mode like that, or an infinite elixir extra game mode in the Clan Wars options, this is the deck I recommend using for that. But that is going to be it for this video. Once again, before you leave, please just consider subscribing. It only takes one click of a button, and it really helps a lot more than you think for small creators like myself. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.